Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee. I'm Chef Renee, and today we are going to be making one of my favorites. We're going to be making crab cakes. That's right here in Connecticut. But we are going to do it Baltimore style, where you get a lot of jumbo lump crab meat in the crab cake. We're also going to do a couple of sides with it. We're going to do a arugula and blueberry salad. That's going to have accompanied with it candied walnuts that I've done. We're also going to do a few things. We're going to saute some asparagus. We're going to saute some baby zucchini. It's all going to be such a delicious treat for us. Let's get started. All right, first, you're going to need a few ingredients for the crab cake. You're going to need your panko. I like panko. You can use any other breadcrumbs, but I like panko because they crisp up so nicely. You got to have some premium crab meat. And I have some here. And the reason it's already in the bowl is because we went through it so we can make sure there are no shells. You always want to do that with your crab meat. Go through it and make sure there are no little shells or anything. Sometimes you're really lucky and there's nothing in, but it could be something. We also have, I like to put my aioli in my actual mix for the crab cake, as well as on the side, sort of that familiarity thing. So I have a garlic aioli right here. And of course it does have garlic in it and has Old Bay seasonings and all those yummy things in it. We are gonna need an egg. Egg's gonna bind it. We got some Old Bay seasoning here. We got some jalapeno, ouch. We got some chives, and we got our Dijon mustard and a few other little things. So first, you wanna take your egg and you wanna beat that lightly. Yeah, we're not trying to fluff it or anything. We're just going to go ahead and beat it lightly. Now to the egg, I like to add the Dijon. Now, I suppose you could use other mustard. I haven't, but if you don't have any, don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just go ahead and get your regular golden mustard. All right, so I'm going to whisk that right on in here. That also helps too in it. And there's our other acidic type thing. We have our lemon juice here. I like to wait on the lemon juice a little bit. Let's see. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add. Now, you can add mayo. I'm going to use the aioli I made. It has roasted garlic, it has parsley in it, has a few little chives, not many. And so I'm going to use that. I'm going to whisk that in. It's going to become this beautiful. Oh, I smell it already. This smells good already. Got a good shot of that. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, now we have that together. I'm going to add the Old Bay. Oh, got a little bit down in there. There we go. And I like to incorporate each ingredient after I add it. There we are. Now we're going to go ahead and add the lemon juice. Now that's fresh squeezed lemon juice, and it's about a tablespoon and a half. All right, and now we got our salt and pepper. See? I divided them. There we go. Again, incorporating. Now, I'm going to wait before I add the jalapeno because I'm going to dice those a little bit more. And we have some chives here already chopped. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put that aside. And I'm actually going to chop my scallion. And we'll add that. I like to go ahead and get the chives where I can hold it nicely. The reason I saved this to show you is I wanted to demonstrate, the proper cutting technique. You hold your fingers sort of in a curve. That way your knuckle is out front. So as you're chopping with your knife, you lean the knife over. That way it's not going to chop your finger. It'll hit the knuckle before anything is ripped apart. So you want to be careful with that. And that way you just ease it back and you move your knife accordingly, keeping your fingers back, and chop away. See how easy that is? You can do this. All righty. Now we don't want to bite into any large chunks, so oops, one almost got away. Just going to chop those. I think my cutting board was trying to run away. All right, so we have that, and we're going to just drop that right into the mix. There we are. And again, incorporate. Still smelling good over here. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to actually fold in the crab meat. You don't want to stir, and you certainly don't want to whisk. And the reason you don't want to do that is because you don't want to break it all up. You want some of the lumps left in there. So we're going to fold in our nicely picked crab meat. Beautiful. And you say, that's a lot of crab. That is. That's a pound of crab meat. Delicious. It ain't cheap, but it's worth it. See, you can do this yourself. Let's stir that. Let's fold it in. And I'm around the bowl, scooping up and turning it over. That's how we fold in something we don't want to break. Now, I feel good about that. It's incorporated well. Now, let's go ahead, and I'm going to take the jalapenos. I'm going to dump them down. Now, I have removed all of the seeds from the jalapeno. Yeah, you know why. We don't want anything too hot that it's not enjoyable. All right, so now I'm just going to dice them up a little bit more, cut them smaller. We're going to maybe even mince them. Yeah, mincing is actually smaller than the dice and the rough cut. Rough cut, really there's no organization, it's just a rough cut. In dicing, you're looking for a small square. And mincing, you're looking for even smaller. There we are. I'm going to bring that back, and we're going to incorporate that in. I didn't want that little flame of the jalapeno to be completely lost, which is why I'm folding it in at this point. Now, I'm not going to use all of our chives. I'm just going to use some because we'll use the rest for a garnish. And remember, we have in salt and pepper already, as well as Old Bay. Now, what we have to do is, this is about 1 1/4 cup of panko. And remember, we have the pound of crab meat. So you don't want 1.5 cups or 1 1/4 cups of panko in here. Then you'll end up with like too much bread. You know, sometimes you go to a restaurant and you feel like, where's the crab meat? Well, it's because maybe a lot of bread crumbs were used. So I really want mine for to assist in binding, but I also want it for the crispy texture that I'll get on the outside at the end. So I'm not going to use all of this. I'm only going to use maybe about let's use about maybe 2/3. And if you need more, you can always go back and get more, right? Okay, so I left some for us for the outside so we can saute them. Now, all I'm going to do is fold this in. Now, before we actually begin to cook the crab cakes, because I like to finish mine in the oven, you want it to stay together. You have to put it in the refrigerator for a little while. That way the egg begins to, if you would, coagulate. Everything tends to stay together better. That doesn't mean it can't come apart in the pan, but you've given it a good effort. So we've got this all mixed up. Again, I'm folding. And this will get you maybe about 6 to 8 crab cakes. All right, so we've got this all incorporated. And what we're ready to do now is to form our crab cakes. And I've started a few and had them in the fridge. And we're just going to add to this. Now, you can use a scoop. You can use this. You can use your hand. You can use a spoon. I like to use my ice cream scoop. Or at least an ice cream scoop. All right, because that helps me get some nice portions. All right, and we're just going to bind them together. Now, some of them I tried to shape a little differently, like the little ones, in case you use for appetizers. And then this one a little more round in case you want to get festive and add something on top. And then the rounded ones like this, just for a plate. Now, you can make these much bigger if you'd like. And flatten them out a little bit. It's totally up to you. And what we're going to do is you put them in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes should be enough for them to bind together. Then you take them out. You put them in the breadcrumbs that you have, this panko here, and you fry them in the pan. You don't deep fry, it's a shallow fry. That means there's not a lot of oil or butter, whatever you're going to use in the pan. I like to use a combination of oil and clarified butter, or liquid gold, as I call it. It gives it a nice taste. And then I like to finish mine in the oven. I put them in there for, I don't know, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes. If they're this size, I'm going to probably put them in there for about 10 minutes. Not too long, because remember, the crab meat is already done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this. We'll go take a break, and when we come back, I'll have a few started on the fire there, or on our vol wrap, and we'll get those going. We'll pull out the veggies, which we're going to have sauteed asparagus. We're also going to have a few salad sides for them, and some vinaigrettes that I made. I think you're going to love it. So I will see you in just a few moments when we come back from break. Have you heard? You haven't? Well, Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee is moving to a new time. Same day, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 now. So make sure you're there. Wednesdays, 8 to 9. Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee. See you there. Hi, and welcome back. I'm just getting started over here. I'm adding some liquid gold, as I like to call it, or clarified butter to the pan that we're going to be cooking the crab cakes in. And that was olive oil. And I'm telling you, when this gets hot, this is why I do love these. I could turn it down and it's already dropping. There we go. So I've had it on for a little bit. All right, and I think we're ready. You know I like a sizzle. So we're just going to put the crab cake here. I'm going to turn it over. And like I say, remember, I like to finish mine in the oven. There we are. I got my little sizzle going on. Here's one that's round. I'll mash that a little bit. There we go. And you know, breadcrumbs actually cook very quickly, so that's why I like to finish them in the oven. That way I keep my beautiful color and I get my crispy, crunchy bite. All right, and let's do one more. You don't want to crowd the pan. All right. So there, that's enough. That's enough on. I'm going to move this out of the way so we can get that back into the refrigerator soon. We've got these going. Let's take a look at that first one. Look at that. Already beautiful and crisp. Look. Yay. I think I'm going to add a little bit more clarified butter to the pan. And you don't want it too high. You don't need it too high. Remember, these are going to finish in the oven. They are absolutely beautiful. And the reason I'm finishing them in the oven is, remember, see, I have them so high, meaning they're so big that I do want them to get cooked all the way through. And they smell yummy. Woo! Perfect. So we're going to let that go for a little bit. You wipe my hands there. And we're going to finish those off in the oven. Let me clear up a little bit here. And then we're going to get started. We're going to saute our vegetables, and we're going to be good to go. I am ready. All right. Oh, they look just fabulous. Let me check the bottom. Oh, wonderful. I like to turn these as much as I can on the side. The little ones, not the big ones. The big ones will finish off themselves. Let's look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So we're going to turn this off. And we will finish these in the oven. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. Might as well turn this one. Don't want to leave it out. There we are. That is beautiful. Let's see. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring out a plate. And we'll move this. There we are. All right, so now we're going to get started on our vegetables. Now let's get this warmed up. We're going to saute. I've already blanched and shot the asparagus. Isn't that beautiful and bright green? That's just so lovely. What I'm going to do now to it is I'm going to add a little salt and a little pepper to it. And I'm going to drizzle a little oil on it as well as in the pan. And that way we know we are good to go. Now this is garlic infused oil. And I roasted the garlic myself for that. I'm going to add a little salt. And we're going to have some fresh ground pepper. Give it a little bite. And we'll oil up the pan a little. Let's get that rolling round in there. This is going to be fabulous. And it's something light for you to have, you know, on a hot day or a warm day or just, you know, a nice evening. All right. So I've tossed, oops, about to lose one. I've tossed them around in the garlic oil, salt and pepper. Just going to saute them quickly. Because remember, blanching them is really partially cooking them, and it helps to get that vibrant green color that the asparagus have naturally. And we're just flavoring them up. So we got that going. The next vegetable we're going to do is, I love these little miniature zucchinis. I'm telling you, they are so flavorful. Then I'm going to show you a few little quick things with the radicchio. And radicchio, actually, there are several varieties of radicchio. And the most common varieties are the Verona, which is what I have here. And I believe it's, ooh, these look really good and smell good. I can't remember, it's a chorizo, something like that. But those are the two most common varieties that are used. It'll come back to me. And the Verona actually comes out looking like butter or bib lettuce. And what you see in the store is they pulled all the rounds off and they left you with the center of it. Also, it does need something sweet with it. So we've got a nice sweet vinaigrette that we're going to use. We're actually going to make it. It's a strawberry vinaigrette. And I've also made to go with it, or just in case somebody wants something a little different, I've also made a blueberry vinaigrette, and we have a balsamic vinaigrette. All right. These are so beautiful and tasty. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Woo, lovely. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Let's use this to the pan. Up. And we already have clipped off the tops. You know what? I think I will go ahead and clip off the bottom. And also, you can do other little things with the zucchini. I just like it whole like this. Again, this is a casual evening. You know, in fact, at home, I would make just a pan of the asparagus, some zucchini, and some green beans, the haricot vert, and I'll sit and just watch movies. And I think Julia Childs called it in one of her movies, veg out, except my veggies are sauteed. Uh-oh, lost one. My veggies are sauteed, and I'm quite happy with that. Now, I'm going to season them, but I wanted them to become coated with the oils that are in the pan. Let's move this. And I'm going to add a little liquid gold here. That always adds flavor. A little ground pepper. And yum, we have it going on here. I'm going to turn my flame down, or my induction burner down. I do want these to go ahead and cook. And it doesn't take long for them to cook at all. And you can actually eat them raw. You can eat the asparagus raw, you can eat green beans raw, you can eat the zucchini raw. But I like mine sauteed. Just a little, just a little. So those are cooking. I'll turn that down, not so it doesn't cook so fast. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with the radicchio. Here, let's wipe this off. All right, and you can actually grill the radicchio. It tastes really good grilled. But I'm going to actually eat it raw. But I'm going to mix it up with a few things. I'm going to julienne it, if you would. Make it small enough, sort of like a cabbage. Like a coleslaw. Those are smelling and looking good. I like to get a little color on them. Whereas these had been blanched, these being the asparagus, I didn't blanch. You don't blanch the zucchini. So this is nice and colorful and beautiful. And I'm going to put it right into the bowl. That's just going to be great. Let's check on the zucchini. Oh, and they are lovely. They are absolutely lovely. Can't wait to taste one. Yum. Back to our radicchio. What I'm going to do here is add a little bit of vinaigrette here. This is the balsamic vinaigrette. I'm not going to add too much because I do want that little tart tangy. But remember I told you radicchio needs something that's sweet. So what I have here is a strawberry vinaigrette. Isn't that a beautiful color? I absolutely love that. A beautiful color. And I'm going to just toss that a bit. I'm keeping an eye on that. So there, we have a radicchio salad, but I'm going to add a little something extra to that. All right, and these, ooh, yummy. My baby zucchinis are ready. Sounds like my baby's zucchinis are ready, but these are my babies right here. All right. So we have that. And I've turned off the burner. Oh, they look just fabulous, don't they? Absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to leave those there for just a second. And remember, crab cakes are finishing. We have the radicchio with a little strawberry vinaigrette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to it just a little bit of these candied walnuts. I made these this morning. Yum. They give anything a punch. Now, I could, chop these, but I don't want to chop them. I like them just like that. And what would be great is you could add goat cheese to this, and that would be really good because it'd be soft and creamy. Today, I'm just going to add Parmesan because I'm going to use the shaved Parmesan for something else too. So let's just shave a little bit. There we are. And you know I love color. I love color. So this works for me. I'm going to take out another plate so you can see. Let me see. Actually, I'm just going to put it over here for you. We're going to move that radicchio. And let's work on our arugula salad. That's what we're going to use these for. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix balsamic vinaigrette with the arugula. The arugula has like a peppery taste to it. We're going to add blueberries to it, and I have a blueberry vinaigrette that's going to be just fabulous with this. And of course, we'll put a little shaved Parmesan on that as well. We'll plate this up, we'll get our crab cakes out of the oven, and then I think we'll be ready to dig in. Woo! So we're going to take a break. I'll get this stuff all going for you. So when we get back, we'll plate it and we'll be good to go. I'm going to say my favorite food is seafood. Yep, I see it and I love it. No, I do also like seafood. I love fish. I love shrimp. I love lobster. I love clams. I love seafood. Very quick and easy to cook. I grew up in the South. So I grew up right where, the seafood hub is. And I grew up eating crabs like every weekend. I absolutely love them. I could actually sit down with a bucket of crabs and a bowl of butter, and you can see me next week. I love seafood. See? Hi, welcome back. We are ready. I'm going to show you some of the things that I've put on with the plating. Let me just get this other crab cake, because this plate can't just have one. There we are. We're going to put that crab cake right there. Is that not a lovely shot? Let me put it there. There we are. I wanted you to see a few of the things that you can do with the crab cakes. And I've just put them all on the same plate. No one person's going to eat, all of this. So I'm just showing you some of the things that we could do. So here, let me just put my finishing touches on it. There we are. And that way you get to see. All right, and then I'll move some. Today what we have made is we've made a radicchio salad, and we've added toasted walnuts to it and some Parmesan cheese. I tell you, I think that creaminess of the goat cheese would be perfect for that. Also here we have the arugula salad with its peppery taste, and we have a balsamic, just a little bit of a balsamic vinaigrette on there, because I really wanted another vinaigrette that I'm going to add to it. And that's a blueberry vinaigrette that I've made specifically for this salad. We've got some fresh blueberries on there, and we got our crab cakes here. We got 2 mini crab cakes over here. You could use those as appetizers, or if you'd like, and put them, have them on a separate plate. I just sort of put it all together so you can see. And we've got our regular crab cake here. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, what is this? Okay, there's some of that blueberry on there. I'm telling you, that is so, so delicious. We have the aioli here. I put it in the gravy dish here, but I'm going to put a dollop. Sour cream isn't the only thing you can dollop. There's aioli there. And you can put it different places on the crab cake so that you can see it. And here we have our sauteed vegetables. Let me move that so you can get a nice shot. We have our sauteed asparagus, which I blanched and shocked first. Then I sauteed it. We actually have baby zucchini here that I've sauteed with some salt and pepper and infused garlic. And then we have some crab cakes on here as well. And I love color. So we have ourselves over here some red leaf lettuce and tomatoes. I think the tomatoes bring it all together as well as far as flavor and sweetness, because tomato is a fruit. But I think it doesn't matter to me whether it's fruit or vegetable. I am going to enjoy myself with this. And of course, I cannot forget my dollop of the aioli. I'm going to put it over on the side. I am going to take a little bit of, and this is just me, you can use the balsamic vinegar to go over here. You can use the blueberry. I'm actually just going to put a drizzle of my delicious strawberry vinaigrette there. And I want to thank you for joining me here today at Simply Fresh Food. I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank Geisler's and all of you out there. I want to thank Vollrath. And I hope that you get a chance to make these. This dish is just fabulous, guaranteed to be a winner. And I paired it with none other than Chardonnay. A nice, cold, dry white wine goes perfect with the seafood. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna dig in. Hi, it's Chef Renee, and I have another quick tip for you. We're gonna make a strawberry vinaigrette. Very easy. I have here just about half a cup of strawberries. I'm gonna put those into my food processor. I have I'm gonna say maybe a teaspoon and a half of strawberry or raspberry vinaigrette. Totally up to you if you'd like to use them. Gonna add my lemon juice, almost 2 teaspoons, depends on how sweet you want it, how tart you want it, and honey, just about a tablespoon. This is so handy, that food processor, I'm telling you. And it comes out really slow, but that was just about a tablespoon. We're gonna add the oil slowly because we want it to emulsify. So I've got my food processor. I'm gonna turn it on so we can sort of puree all of this with the food processor. Now I'm just letting everything settle at the bottom, and I'm gonna hit it again. Now what we're gonna do from the top of the processor is we're gonna add the oil. Gonna add that slowly while it's going. I like to look and check just to be sure the oil is emulsifying. Ooh, that looks so beautiful. Now, if you'd like, you could strain some of these things, like if you're gonna use a sauce. I'm not gonna use a sauce, so I'm not gonna strain it. It's easier to test this with lettuce, but look at that. Sort of coats the spoon. Delicious. Now, you can add salt or pepper or both. I'm gonna add a little salt. It is a vinaigrette. And I'm gonna add a little pepper. And we're gonna put that back on. And we are good to go. Look at how beautiful that is. That's why I put it in this bowl, so you could see that. That's absolutely gorgeous. And this is what you want. Now you can taste it again and salt and pepper and season it to the way you like. Then just get yourself a bunch of greens. Now I have honey here, because you can add honey in there, which actually sweetens it up very nicely, but I thought that the flavor was just perfect. So I left that, but honey is an option for you. So we're just gonna tear up some greens. I got some Bibb lettuce, some red leaf, green leaf. And remember, I made a strawberry vinaigrette. So what's my garnish? I'm going to fan my strawberry. There. And I actually have put the strawberry vinaigrette into a nice little container for me. Drizzle. And there you are. Strawberry vinaigrette. That's a quick tip from Chef Renee.